Welcome to my YouTube series on SBA lending. My name is Scott Schulman. I'm the business SBA lending expert. In this video, I'll be giving an overview on the SBA 7(a) lending program. SBA Lending 101 will be shown in two parts. Part 1, who is eligible for financing. Part 2, loan terms and how the loan program works. Future videos will go into further details of the borrower's preparation that is recommended when applying and the inside secret of closing a loan quickly. The purpose of this lecture series is to educate business owners in government financing and how to maximize the use of the SBA lending program to meet their needs in order to operate at maximum capacity without financial restrictions. This video series is also targeted towards business brokers, mortgage brokers, bankers, CPA, attorneys, and small business development staff. If you have any questions or if I can be any assistance, please shoot me an email. My email address is thesbapro@gmail.com, thesbapro@gmail.com. I will also prepare a PowerPoint presentation for each lecture and will provide for free by email. My background, Senior Vice President, one of the largest SBA lenders in the country. I'm a past recipient of the SBA Financial Champion of the Year. I've closed over 300 SBA 7(a) loans in excess of $200 million in the past 10 years. Let me go over some basics about the 7(a) program. This SBA 7(a) Guarantee Program is designed to help small business owners start or expand their business. The program provides an alternative source in financing where the risk is reduced to the lender, where the government provides a guarantee to pay back the loan based on a percentage if the loan goes into default. The government will guarantee up to 85% of the loans up to $150,000. Beyond that, they'll provide a 75% guarantee on a percentage with a higher dollar amount. Maximum amount of the loan is $5 million. There's a 75% guarantee on that. The SBA does not provide any grants. They're all loans through this program. The loan sizes range typically from $50,000 up to $5 million. Let's talk about who is eligible to obtain funding. Most businesses are eligible. Eligibility is primarily determined by the type of the business, source of income. For example, let's take a look at non-passive income, such as rental properties, or an industry that's associated with religious or issues of morality are not eligible for SBA financing. Many storages, warehouses are now eligible under the SBA 7(a) program. Residential care facilities are eligible if they are licensed as nursing homes or as assisted living facilities. Income derived from gambling is eligible if the income is 1/3 or less of the gross annual revenue. For example, let's take a look at a Quick Mart that does lottery sales. So long as the lottery sales are not a major portion, they're 1/3 or less, they would be eligible for financing. Hotels, motels, RV parks, marinas, campground, similar types of businesses are considered eligible, but must have short-term rental use consisting of 51% or greater of the percentage of revenue. In other words, they're basing it on short-term rentals where you would have employees, you would have a maid that would go ahead and clean the rooms, versus long-term rental where someone rents for a year. There's really not much service provided. Eligibility for finance. What's not eligible? Let's look at the ineligibility. Ineligibility businesses such as, again, involvement in religion, sexual content, politics or lobbying, investment in real estate, pyramid selling plans, speculation in any type of property, ineligible use of proceeds such as return of funds to any owner, such as taking excess owner's compensation to give back to the owner as a form of working capital, or repayment of delinquent withholding taxes. Let's look at another eligibility issue. Size standard loan. what size businesses can you have too big of a business to be eligible for an SBA loan? The answer is yes. We have to look at, based on classification, what is eligible for a business. We look at sales of retail. We also look at the service industry. It's based on sales. Wholesale and manufacturing companies is based on employees, and it's based on a classification system called the North American Industry Classification System. You must also consider any affiliate-owned business in your calculations. To look at the total number of employees for all companies that you own and the total sales, depending on what is classified. Let's look at manufacturing, 500 to 1,500 employees, wholesaling, 100 employees. Servicing, less than 4.5 to no greater than 29 million. Retail is typically anywhere from 6.5 to 24.5. Also, the business must be for profit, cannot be a non-profit business. The business must be open to all non-discriminating bases, such as an all-women's gym wouldn't be eligible for financing unless they cater to the men also. The business must be located in the U.S. or its possessions. Since some changes have taken place with the size standard because of the banking crisis, which need to allow larger businesses to have access to capital. They changed it where the tangible net worth is no more than 15 million. That opens a wide range of businesses having equity positions of 15 million or less to be able to attain financing. The average net income after taxes, including carryover losses, must not be greater than 5 million for the past 2 years. So the net income, you're going to very fine businesses that are making $5 million or more. If they are, they're certainly not going to need an SBA loan. Let's look at limitations on what assets that you can have. If you have too much assets, you're not going to be eligible for an SBA loan. The U.S. government will not let you borrow from this program if you have access to other sources of funds, such as excess personal liquidity. In other words, you have a liquid assets that you can self-fund the project. Let's take into consideration of liquid assets of the whole family, spousal, children. When we look at assets, we consider what are marketable securities, which are stocks, bonds, tradable assets, cash in the bank, or similar funds. Or we have to consider revocable trust because the owner may have the ability to take the trust back, and that will count towards the available capital they have to use their own resources. What's excluded? IRA funds, educational savings, and real estate. Those are not counted as liquid assets. For example, if you're looking to fund a project that needs $250,000 total, you cannot have more than $500,000 liquid assets, or you must inject some of your own personal assets in excess of the 2 times rule. In this case, if you have $550,000, you would have to inject $50,000 of your own money to conform to the SBA rule. Liquidity limitations. $250,000 or less, it is 2 times the financial product of $100,000. For $250,000 to $500,000, the max is 1.5 times the $500,000, which we mentioned in the previous example. Over $500,000 is 1 times the max liquidity, or $750,000. Project costs would consist of the following: SBA loan amount of $400,000, equity injection of $100,000. So we're looking at a total financial package of $500,000. In this case, we'd be able to look at liquidity of 1.5 times the $500,000. So the maximum amount of liquidity we could have is $750,000. Anything over that, we would have to inject more capital into the project cost. Another important point for eligibility for the SBA is a form called Form 912. The importance of this form is to ask questions related to U.S. citizenship and prior arrest. It's important to attain an SBA loan, you must be a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. At least 51% ownership must have either documents. There are exceptions, and we'll explain further in a separate series. If you have had prior arrests, you must disclose. If it is a felony, it will complicate matters and delay the process with stricter government review. Misdemeanors can be cleared rather quickly. Felonies may take up to 6 months to clear, so that will take some time. In a separate video, I will cover in more details on how to handle past felonies and misdemeanors. In the next section, we will cover loan characteristics of 7A loans.